What up, traders? What up, investors? Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and thank you for tuning in for another fantastic video. We're going to be doing a little bit something different today. We're going to be looking at a very aggressive momentum play, and this actually came across to me from my dear friend Ariel. He pinged me. I think it was like the 29th or 30th. He's like, "Hey, look what I just bought. I bought 12,000 shares of this company." And I looked at it, I was like, "What is this? Where did you find it?" He's like, "Oh, it's gonna run." I said, "Okay, well, Ariel's known to have golden binoculars, so I was like, oh, it's interesting. I'll keep an eye on it. It's not really in my wheelhouse. I'm not very aggressive with these momentum plays." With that being said, he bought that at like $1.25, and if once we jump into the chart, that thing has gone up pretty substantially. So just getting that one ping from Ariel, which is was quite mind blowing, and then tracking it the last couple of days and just seeing the momentum, the big snowball continue to grow and grow and grow with more people's interest in it. I want to be a little bit careful with this because again, it's very much a momentum FOMO trade as we speak. Even though the great technology behind it, you have to be very careful. A lot of people are getting ahead of themselves. That fear of missing out, all that stuff could really could create a catastrophe in the sense of the stock substantially pulling back and then going back down to $1.50 to $1, just trading sideways until some fantastic news comes out from their genomic mapping platform. So basically, this stock has been up nearly 400 and 500% at this current week. We'll look at the chart in a second. Basically, this analyst is saying like this is the creme of the creme on creating the deploying and really creating and adopting this new increase of revenue for this company, BNGO, really doing an acceleration in the United States and the whole genomic clinical testing. Basically, if you're familiar with Pacific Bio, which is this symbol right here, a PACB, same kind of thing where it's kind of also in California. This stock has run up quite a bit, and this is also, I believe, ARK has a pretty substantial position in there in their ARK G fund. With that being said, if BNGO gets into the NASDAQ and stays on the NASDAQ and starts getting options and starts growing, we could see BNGO at a $20 stock. Who knows? Like, it's really, really careful with these these pharmaceutical companies and these genomic companies, because again, they wouldn't say they have a pump and dump mentality, but there is usually that huge flush of like cash momentum. You'll see on the chart really rocketing higher. Then it kind of stabilizes, and then it might come down a little bit and really shaking out all those potential weak hands. Basically, this analyst really breaks it down. He's saying his high for his buy rating, he gave it a momentum buy. There's not many analysts on it. Again, I don't really listen to analysts as well, but this is very interesting that an analyst is saying that this could run to $2. Of course, the stock's well above $2 as we speak already, but we'll see on how that comes into Friday with a low at 75 cents, blah, 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 whatever. So basically, they're really comparing this between their genomic system, between Luna, it was a ticker LILMN, and then Pacific Biosciences. Again, both these companies are in California, and actually Luma is basically in San Diego. That's where BNGO is going up. So the reason why is this a very heavy momentum trade is because look at the Google trend. Like, it is breaking out here. We're going to be looking in the end of what is this? July here, basically the 19th to 20th, towards the end of July. It had a huge bump as well. It's going to be kind of correlated to the chart here as well once we jump into it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump into the chart. So we're going to be looking at BNGO. What do we talk about? Towards the end of, guess what? July, we had that huge move up to basically $1.19 to $1.20. Since then, we've been kind of just giving it all back and just trading around that 50 cents range. That being said, that huge breakout, this doesn't even just do it justice. Let me go to this chart here for you folks. Doing this really impressive move here and really kicking higher here. Again, really seeing that breakout basically around 120 and just really continue to fly with just more and more momentum and volume coming in. My only fear of this is once we go into the other data chart, we can kind of see a particular FOMO pattern, because as you see on the the Wednesday of last week, the day before the end of the year, the 30th, it had so much more volume, and it came right back down to some very, I want to say, complacent support. But even with that movement in the after hours and pre-market moves, it's just really flying higher. Because again, going back to the ping I had or text message with Ariel, was he was getting in at 125 in after hours trading. And I was like, well, it has some resistance at 182 and 226, and maybe it can run to $3. I don't think I even said $3. I said maybe like 350 potentially. And now we're seeing that really rocket through those Fibonacci levels. Again, this is a penny stock, okay? This is not a $1,000 stock. Like a move from just, let's go, so from the low of just, let's say, 50 cents a couple days ago to the all-time high, which is even in pre-market, again, in aftermarket trading, is around 865%, okay? In about 16 days. This stock has gone from 50 cents to basically nearly $5. Can they continue to run? Maybe, but this is when you really have to put on your, what kind of trade is this? Is this a trade investment? I think this is more if you're going to be trading a very high momentum trade with the chance of a lot of that FOMO built in. Well, usually a momentum trade has that FOMO built in, so you have to kind of keep ahead of that. You have to keep ahead of the froth. You have to keep ahead of all those day trading short folks that want to get out there and to scalp the Hello Kitty out of this, and really try to get in front of you and make you really rethink and make you look in the mirror and make you think on like, why am I doing this? I need to get out. I need to take profits. Don't be a pig. Let me just take some profits, blah, 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 blah. Those shorts will potentially shake out a lot of weak hands if this stock has any room to run continuously. Some warning signs, that 350 level again. The market's closed on a Saturday, so we'll see on how it opens up Monday. FYI, I won't potentially be around on Monday. I have jury duty, so Godspeed on that. With that being said, 350 is that Fibonacci number, but that next level of resistance is at $5.50. And that's a pretty significant level lining up with those Fibonacci numbers. Again, 550, nice round number. And it's also a very heavy extension on that. Again, we can continue run these Fibonacci numbers up to 875, 14, and 2250, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. So downside support initially is going to be coming down to basically the Fibonacci's on the downside. I really kind of like the support potentially around $1.50 and even down to $1. If those key levels can hold and we don't close below that, this looks like it could potentially kind of rebalance and potentially show some support there. But I cannot emphasize this enough. Please be careful with this one. This, again, it's a FOMO. We just showed you the Google trend. We showed all the crazy momentum in this stock. So kind of going back to its past, what we talked about in the summertime when we had somewhat of a spring up of the momentum, we saw that really high capitulation, but we never saw that same volume really break it out to higher levels. We actually saw the volume kind of die off. And that's really an indication on this momentum trade. So again, not my favorite thing to touch, and I'm probably not going to touch it with a 10-foot pole because it moves so fast. I got jury duty, all this kind of stuff. We kind of have that middle finger set up. We have the first knuckle, the middle finger, and then the third knuckle here on the blue volume bars here in the back. Again, this doesn't mean it's going to top or it's a topping pattern. This is just like a warning shot across the bow saying, hey, be careful, you are in this kind of trade here, which we've seen before with a high conviction rate of a momentum trade and FOMO behind it. So a lot of folks starting out that new year, they got that $600 cash from the US government and they want to potentially double it within a week. This is the kind of folks you're playing around with. And not saying Robinhood investors can't move the markets, but this is already on Wall Street bets and so forth. Just kind of keep it with a grain of salt. I just want to have be very careful out there. There are many of these stocks that happen on a daily basis, but just this week, BNGO got the call, and they are definitely the front runner for this potential very aggressive movement that we could see in the next coming week. So on that note, please be careful. I really want everyone to be doing intelligent in trades here and not just throw complete utter sense to the wall here. Again, with that being said, go ahead and check out the Discord. We have a link down in the description below. Come by and ask me questions. We have other fantastic folks that are very active traders as well and investors. And as well, if you're interested, we use Tastyworks. I use Tastyworks for trading options and stock, and that affiliate link is down below if you want to help support the channel as well. All right, guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.